Wolfie?
Am I in? Am I in?
You're in, Wolfie.
Oh,
yeah.
all
Wolfie.
right.
Go ahead.
I'm howling. I'm in a howling good mood. Well,
wonderful.
Started out early this morning. Let me back up and say, first of all, my gosh, at the intel and all the great stuff that has come in today. It boggles my mind at how some things, just a short while back, was just so dry on intel, we couldn't get anything. It was like we had to go looking for stuff, and still it was hard to find. And we've had more stuff come in the last 2 days than what we have the last 2 months probably. It's just been amazing at the turnaround that has happened. But mine started out this morning that I got an email from a private source that don't want to be announced, and I respect that. So I'm just going to say that I'm entitled to put out what they wanted, that I could put out, but I can't say anything further. But it goes on along with the same thing about the well, I'll just read part of it. It says that we've said it in chat today anyhow, but the currency dealers in China have been told to balance their books and close the shop by tomorrow morning. That would be U.S. time tonight. This process moves from the east to the west. Be sure to keep a close eye on the currency dealers because this has started. This whole thing has started. There's been some issues of people wanting to know why eBay was still selling and some of the others, being asked to stop. And eBay is not controlled by UST. I mean, and they sell their currencies for the collections, and whatever. So it's a collective thing. So, antiques. But, they have no control over that. They're not selling it for investment. But anyhow, I got that, and then it went on I got another email that was confirming that, also that was talking about, I was having a meeting this morning at 9:30, and I was getting calls during the meeting even. I mean, it was just amazing that I couldn't even hardly have the meeting with all the phone calls and stuff coming in. But what has come in today, and I'm just going to touch on it there just a little, and I'll let the rest of y'all talk about it, but how great all this is. Now, here's one thing that I'm going to say before I wind up. I went down to eat yesterday. What was that, day before yesterday? I'm so screwed up, I don't know who I am. Anyhow, the Sun Trust that's right down below me has been closed up and padlocked for months now. And I went down there, and it was booming. And there was, the parking lot was full of cars, and the bank was full of people. So I went back down yesterday, and it was empty. I went down this morning at 9:30 for my meeting, and next door, and it was empty. But when I went down to pick my son up from school and went down there, it was full again. Now, I don't know what's going on, but I went over and I asked a lady, the door was locked, but I asked a lady that was just standing inside the door that could hear me what was going on. All she said to me was, I can't tell you right now, but we're getting ready for some great changes to be taking place. That's all I can tell you at this time. I just looked at her and smiled and said, that's good enough for me. And I went on out and got in my vehicle and I came home. So I just wanted to throw that in there just, for the little tid's sake of, well, that sounded good to me. A bank that's been closed for months is now open again, and you still can't get in during business hours. And a lady tells me that they're in there getting ready for some tremendous changes for the things that's getting ready to come. Sounds good to me.
Sounds pretty good to me, too.
So,
all right.
Anyhow, I'm way past excited.
All right, so thanks for stopping and come back if you can.
I love the people in the chat room, and they wanted me to come in and say hello and howl and leave. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll say hello, and I've said what I need to say, and I'm going to howl myself out of here. And I love you guys.
All right. Have a great night, Wolfie.
I'm gone. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Bodie, did you hit record by any chance? Or Sunny? Bodie?
We're recording.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And it is March 2nd, 2016. Okay, so
Blondie,
yeah,
I just hit the recording, so what Wolfie said was not recorded.
Oh, okay.
If he could come back in sometime, if he's got a minute, and do it again, that would be great.
What? If my angels came through tonight, which they always do, I think I have a backup.
Excellent.
So I'll get that to you. So okay, so you're here. Command. Yes. Why don't you open the call? I just did a perfunctory little time so Command was ready.
Okay, well, welcome to the call tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being here as always. It is March the 2nd, Wednesday, 2016. And as usual, we have our disclaimer, which I know Blondie did the miniaturized version, but we do want to make sure that you know that we venture to give you the information and give it to you properly, but we make no representations or any warranties of any kind revealed or suggested about the completeness or accuracy, dependability, viability, or accessibility with respect to this site. Any infos or item services or related to graphics consisted of on the call or on our website for any reason. So we ask you to use your own good judgment. Make sure you consult the proper people that are trained to make these decisions and help you along the way for your financial future. We give you the information and we ask you to follow up with it on this call and in the forum. So thanks for coming in again. We appreciate it. And once again, this is Wednesday, the 2nd of March, 2016. You're on here with Blondie and Admin Bill and a host of others. So welcome. And we'll continue now with the program already in progress. Take it away, Blondie.
Okay. All right. We have Landaman, why don't you come on in here and tell us what's happening in Landaland?
All right. Full disclosure, I had a really busy day today, and I caught as many of the high points as I could. But between the onslaught of intel coming in, getting work done, ignoring you, Blondie, it was a really busy day. Okay.
It had to be really busy because he knows the penalty for ignoring Blondie.
Anyway, Jersey is still on the road, so he wasn't actually on the call. Will read a statement he put together. Honestly, and I'm paraphrasing, the gist of it was the funds essentially cleared today. They're spendable either tomorrow or Friday by the end of the week. Now, the funds he's talking about, of course, are the project funds, and they're platform trading funds. They're not related to the RV per se, but it's the funds they've been waiting on to really kick off their projects. He did say the reasons it's been taking so long for these funds to be released is the banks, come up with excuses every day to hold on to it one more day to make the interest on that money. And I can tell you, I had the exact same thing happen to me with international transfer, I would say last May, that was supposed to be usable in 5 days, took almost 12 days. So it's definitely par for the course. But, like I said, we'll know in the next couple of days if that is the case. Historical and RV bonds are moving now. What do they mean by moving? Not sure. Doug went into a little more detail on it. Basically said, look, they're seeing a multitude of entities trying to get their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. Groups that weren't involved with the RV or really didn't believe it, banks, different finance companies, are trying everything they can to get involved kind of at the last minute, and it definitely created a few hiccups, but nothing worth worrying about. He also said that the Chinese media is publishing that the redemption of the historical assets is waiting on the currency to be established, which I was under the impression this whole time that the historical bonds would go and the currency would RV, but after hearing that, it makes a lot more sense. If they're going to redeem them, they have to have a rate to redeem them at. So, again, they are all tied together, so that is great news as well, since we're on the RV side, not the historical bond side. The other statement he made that was exciting was he said, look, we're getting to the very end of the sovereigns. So, and that's us at the door. So large dinar transfers are all being accounted for. There's no cookie-cutter rates for them, so there's a lot of negotiation going on. But he also did say that the historical assets are going to take a couple of years to get settled. There's so many of them out there, and there's so many different redemptions of them. So we don't want to worry too much about them having to be done or being part of the process. Just the fact that they're part of its inception, if you will. So knowing that they're going means we're going. Same countries. Oh, he also mentioned that some of the countries involved in the AIIB had to break some treaties in order to join. I'm assuming those are treaties with Western countries. So it's telling. Let's put it that way. It lets you know how what's going on as far as the balance of power in the financial world throughout the country or throughout the world. Other than that, he said basically finished off the call, and there was a lot more said, obviously, but the gist of it was, and he finished off the call, and this was Doug saying, look, all the rumors will be coming to a head in the next few days. So that's a synopsis of it. Like I said, I'm going to have to listen to the whole thing again tonight as well as the other call that went on today. I mean, the amount of intel and information that's come out today, whether it be emails, chat room, phone calls, information coming out on all of these calls has just been unlike anything I've seen in the years I've been watching this. So here's hoping we get 800 numbers real soon. If we don't, I'll definitely be calling my manager in the morning and seeing, letting him know I'm going to be waiting at his office until he gets it. So we're looking good. I try not to let myself get too excited because I don't like to be let down, but I have to tell you this time I'm letting myself get excited.
That's great to hear, Landaman. Thank you. Stay with us, as long as you can, honey.
I should be here the whole time.
Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to Research Dude. Research Dude JD. Come on, give us some good stuff. JD?
Hello.
JD? Oh, there we go.
So how are you all this evening?
We're waiting with bated breath so we can fall off our chairs with the intel you have for us.
Well, I guess the biggest shock I had today was the article that I saw pop up in my Facebook news feed that talked about Executive Order 13303 and the Iraqi dinar is going to revalue. Sounds like it may be going viral, folks. That's pretty shocking information.
I was very impressed that you had scoped that out, JB. That was phenomenal. Can you expound a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, it's an article that tells about everything. It tells about, it talks a little bit about the Sterling lawsuit and how that it's been tried to be discredited and how the bankers have said it's a scam, and how that the U.S. Treasury has trillions of dinar and it's going to pay off the national debt. And George Bush signed Executive Order 13303 and said it would pay for the war. I mean, it tells the whole story. It's just an amazing thing. And, I mean, it was an unsolicited, post. You know how your news feed goes in Facebook. It just brings up stuff. And I was like, holy smokes, what's this doing on here? Because, I mean, everybody's going to know about it. It's a interesting thing that showed up.
Yeah, and we'll get that posted in the forum, everybody. It's a great article. A great article.
But everybody's going to know about it soon. They need to do something.
Well, let's not go with everybody, because everybody doesn't have a clue. Let's go with maybe a few people that we couldn't convince may now be convinced. But I mean, I know what you mean about everybody's going to know. It's public information. Whether the public chooses to take advantage of it is a whole another issue. Anyway, anything else, JD?
Could I ask a quick question? JD, where did you find that article?
Basically, it was in my news feed on Facebook. I opened up. You know how when you open up Facebook, it and start scrolling down through your news feed. It's got stuff about your friends and what they do, and then there's some advertisements and stuff. And that was right there in the middle of it. And nobody posted it. It was an item that was put up there by Facebook.
Okay. That's interesting. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Anything else, JD, of note?
Not really. I mean, it's more of the same. I mean, the economy's continuing to, roll down, and I'm just waiting. Bond yields all over the place are dropping like crazy, and I'm just waiting for the banks to start having issues. I think that's the next thing we're going to see if something isn't done pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. Well, please stay with us as long as you can, because I know there's going to be questions, especially about what you just talked about. So stick with us. Thank you. Appreciate everything, JD. Okay. Oh,
Blondie.
We have the imp. Yes.
Blondie, this is Wolfie. I came back in for a minute because I didn't get recorded, and this would not be the last call, and I just wanted to get my voice in here to say I told everybody I loved them, but they didn't get it recorded, and I want to tell everybody I love them and give them a howl out of here, so I didn't get to do that on the recording.
You go do it now.
Okay.
Go ahead, but we got it. We got it. You're covered. I have you recorded. I just got a text from my angels. They have
it. Okay.
Go ahead. Do it again. Do it again. Just in case.
I love you guys too. Peace. Peace out. I'm gone.
Thanks, Wolfie. Okay, now that he's totally destroyed my rhythm, where the heck was I? Imperium. We have the imp that's with us. Hold on. Are you unmuted, imp? Okay, I hit that fingers again. Da-da-da-da. Okay, there you go, Imperium.
Blondie.
Yeah, I know. I'm tired.
Blondie.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, here I am.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Imperium.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything new to add, but everything that I'm hearing is in complete support of this large paradigm shift that's kind of my forte that's happening with humanity. It really feels like it's coming to a closure, and it's very exciting. And I just wanted to remind everybody that in spite of our projections and our expectations, the details are a moving target, and we really don't know how life is going to unfold, with the exception that our quality of life will be improved significantly. We've been trained to be paranoid about the banks and have so much distrust, and that was justified. But now that's shifting, so every one of us is going to go through a bit of a consciousness shift and have to readjust our perceptions about what more is possible. This is just so off the charts unbelievable. And I guess for those of us that have been waiting for it for so long, it's a little bit surreal.
Oh, yes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's like, Blondie, can you believe it? It's like, if this is it, it's finally here. My God.
I know. Yep, exactly. And it's like you don't want to just get too excited because how many times has the balloon been burst?
Exactly.
But it does feel very peaceful, and all the pieces seem to be lining up and fitting together.
Mm-hmm. And for certain, all of those burns that we've been through, the ups and downs, have definitely ripened us and made us much more responsible for what has to be done and what's required from now on.
And resilient.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to be here hanging around as long as I can, okay?
Wonderful. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're going to Tank. Tank, kind of blow us away. Blow us away here, buddy.
I don't know if I'm going to blow you away. I can repeat pretty much what I've been telling everybody in chat all day. All of my sources, I would say this is something that I would consider a very encouraging time. If you consider exactly what Imperium just said, that the amount of information that is coming out right now, even down to the sit reps that have been coming out. A situational report is generally, vague documentation stating facts and events that have occurred, and yet the situational reports that have been coming out lately are very deep historic documents talking about what most people would consider fairy tales. In reality, it's exposing things historically that have been going on, which I think is a good sign because it really speaks to we're in this moment of, where disclosure is coming. And I would say so much so that generally when we talk about Intel, Catalina made this point, how it used to be that we'd have a date every year. Then it was every 6 months. Then it was every 2 months. Then it was every month. Then every week. Then every day. And if you look at where we're at right now, we're actually in an hour-to-hour basis because since yesterday, I received 4 different times just yesterday, and then I had 3 more times today where there was a very high potential of it going. And the last report I heard today was a very definitive, it's done. It will go today before 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know we're all waiting with bated breath, hoping that would happen at 6. But it wouldn't surprise me if we woke up to this tomorrow and it was finished. I will say that generally when I get intel, it's very hush-hush, it's very secret. It's said in the sense of like, this is just for your eyes only. And then you kind of speak with a greater confidence because you know some of other people will know, and you try to give people as much information as you can without exposing the details that your source gave you. That's not the case over the past 2 days. The past 2 days, I've received information that was literally, we want you to put this out. Given instruction that we want you to share this information. It's okay. Put this out there. We want people prepared to know this is coming, where they can actually allow themselves. I know Imperium Blondie clearly had been burned like a bad lover or something, but the reality is there wouldn't be this much disclosure, this much information, this many details about the process if it wasn't sincerely, legitimately, finally this event that everyone has been waiting for it's here. This is really a done process. And I think for me personally, that is incredible because I can't even fathom what is about to be exposed. And you think about the small groups that exist of people, that 6 million people here or whatever it is, it's still a small percentage of the population at 20 million. And there's really going to be a great responsibility, in my opinion, that comes along with that because you'll have this tremendous advantage of being miles ahead of people and being able to accept things that are true. And you're going to have real responsibility to, demonstrate and show and tell people it's okay. This is really true. This isn't some conspiracy. This is really happening. And that to me is very exciting. And I think it gives people that are good-hearted people a great opportunity to be leaders. It gives people an opportunity to start a business that can measure the success of that business based on the impact it has on people instead of just a bottom line. And I think everyone, ideally, who starts a business, that's the dream, is to be able to do that. And I think you're going to have a lot of brand new millionaires who are probably going to start some kind of business, who have no business experience necessarily, a lot of them. And so I just think it's very exciting that everyone has that opportunity. And I know that it's a very, it's a cultural norm inside the dinar land to say things with a tempered level of responsibility. And by saying, well, let's hope it goes through, there's some sense of I'm being responsible by saying that. I think now the most responsible thing to do is to approach this with a sense of reckless abandon and just give yourself over to it completely, trusting. I'll just say this one thing. I'm not trying to preach at all. I'm just saying, as a principle, and for any religions, you can appreciate this principle. You had a time where all the Jews were in slavery down in Egypt, and they came to the Red Sea, and the water heaped up to walk through the water on dry ground. That's how it reads in the scriptures. Then they were in the wilderness of Sinai for 40 years. When it was time to take the promised land, they had to cross the River Jordan. And the men in front were carrying the Ark of the Covenant. And when they went to cross the River Jordan, they had to, the water didn't heap up before they got there. They had to walk right into the water and have complete trust and faith and confidence that the God that had taken care of them all that time in the wilderness was going to stop the water so he could give them the land he had already promised them. And there's something about that to me that rings very true to where we're at now, is taking those steps and with confidence, because somehow you're here. Somehow you're here in this moment where you're still alive. You're still holding your currency. And you still have this amazing opportunity. And you've been in the wilderness struggling through this with everybody else. Now is the time to walk with faith and confidence, knowing we're right there.
Wonderful. Hank, are you going to be around? Because I would like, after we get through the intel, to talk about the process a little bit. If you're going to,
sure.
Can you hang for a little bit? Great.
I'll be here.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Now we're going to go to Miracle Man. $1 Million Man, Miracle Man, you know who you are.
Guys.
Now, Miracle Man, now you know the rules. And I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Talk slow.
Okay, and you know the rules. Now, you have no idea how much I want to give you an A+ tonight, okay? It's really important. You have to talk very slowly, okay?
All righty.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, been in it 5.5 years, and today, like Tank said, Landon Man said, Wolfie said, texts, emails just blew up like I've never ever seen it before with things coming in. Then I had 2 of my 4 humanitarian group leaders call my partners, my 2 partners in it, and said tomorrow they'll be sending out the notices for the people that come to Reno. They were very definite, and they have to have the 800 numbers first. They're not allowing the people to go out there on a limb. So 2 of the 4 were specific about it, and my guys called me and told me that directly. And then there was another call today, and I just want to make a point. And Joseph came up. Again, our man from heaven came down, made a few points, even gave some range on some rates, which will be up to you if you want me to say it, but I'll put it simply. Joseph said tonight. He subtly reads it. He said tonight. That was from Joseph. So in case people
Miracle Man,
Mm-hmm.
Miracle Man, you can go ahead and say the rates. Joseph already said them, and we're going to get a ton of questions, so you might as well get it out there.
That's right. And you know me, I like to keep it reality to the ground. So on your dinar, he said we'll be in that 6 to 15 range, and should be double digits. the dong around 6 to 12, and hope you get double digits. The rupiah, he was a little more than $1.50 to. He didn't get much on that one as far as a higher rate. And then, of course, our blessing, our God's miracle, the Zim. And the reasoning here, he did put it out there again, the 650, okay? And there's plenty of money out there. They want your business, which my USD guy has said. They want your business. They do not want you to walk out. It is there. A 3-digit rate on the Zim, say $1.650. It is there. He reiterated it, but he also gave reasons. Can you handle it? All this could be such a burden on you where if you can't handle it, it'll destroy you rather than create things, you know. So he was really, really definite, and that's where, I don't know if I had a couple minutes to tell my plan. The down to earth, I'm a Midwest guy, 16 years of experience. I doing this for all my people and my foundations and keeping it clean, neat, simple, and reasons. If you had a few minutes, or I can move on, but that was Joseph's. But if you want me to tell you my plan,
okay, Miracle Man, Can you stick with us, and we'll get back to it. We got.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to meet you out now, and then. You know how we do it around here.
Yeah, I know how we do it. Yep.
Okay, I see the beep is here. Okay. Black Eyed Pea, I just unmuted you.
Great. How's everybody tonight?
Glad you could make it.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here. I know we are in the moment. I think this is what we've all been waiting for. I think the culmination of all things is certainly here. And of course, this kind of went viral. Of course, I got a text earlier this morning about, the dealers being asked to do what they need to do and get the books balanced, and that was a very exciting thing. And as I said last week, we made it. And one of the things that we understand, I think a lot of people have been frustrated because they felt like this should have gone for years, but I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think 6 months till now, it wasn't ready, but now we are. And we are in our moment. And I heard one call today telling everybody, take your time, do what you need to do, and don't be afraid to ask for the highest rate because it's not their money. It's not the bank's money. It's the elders' money, and if it's the elders' money, I'm sure they want us to have the highest rate. The bank is just the front man. They're not paying us. So I'm excited, Blondie, and thanks for inviting me on the call. And the intel is the same. I mean, do we know exactly when they're going to push the button? Nobody knows. Probably 3 people in the whole world know that. But we know that they're sitting around ready to push it. That we do know. We just don't know exactly when they're going to do it. And I think anybody that says they know, they probably don't. But I think we know the season, and the season is definitely now. The season is definitely now, and I'm excited about it. And if I were like Wolfie, I'd howl, but I don't howl. But I'll cook you some black eyed peas or something. How about that?
Oh, that'll work. For like all 3,000 of us on the call here, Steve.
Yeah. I'm gonna just make a big. Listen, we can afford it.
Yes, we can. We actually we could afford someone else to make them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
And contribute to the economy.
Yeah, and so I think you all, as I did last week, congratulations. I mean, congratulations. You all have stood. This is like a 40-hour job for some people because we follow it, and, we've been up and down, but we are finally to the point where we can stay up. And I think everybody's saying that. I think all intel is saying the same thing. This thing is rolling out, and it's rolling out fast, and we're blessed. We're blessed. Whether we had to wait 10 years or 20 years, we will be overnight millionaires. That's unheard of. Just because you believed somebody and you had faith and you did what you needed to do and you stood the test of time, congratulations to you.
and you. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
so just stay with us as long as you can, Beep.
I'll be here.
Okay. Now, 801, I'm not sure who this is, and you're on a host line, and I'm going to feel really embarrassed at the moment you say who it is.
Donna, hey, Blondie, that's mine. That's my, just if he's got anything to say, he will share it with us. Okay?
Okay. Sorry about that. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I know you didn't know it, but he couldn't get in any other way.
That's fine.
Thanks.
Okay, admin. Okay, so we've pretty much gone through all of our intel. Do you want to go to questions? What did you have in mind here?
Let's take some questions.
Okay. Now, here's a good one. B from Northridge, California. You've been on here 110 minutes. Now, you didn't even know what we were going to say. So how would you even know what question to ask? But it doesn't matter. It was just a thought, an observation. So you are unmuted, B. Go ahead. B, you're unmuted. Northridge, California.
Nobody even knew about it until Joseph came on the scene.
You know, you're very, very muffled.
He came out of nowhere. Started telling people what was really going on.
You're very muffled. I can't hear you. Are you on a speaker?
And it well with over 30.
Blondie, go ahead and coming back out.
Yeah. Okay, 649. 649. I think this is our campground person. This number comes in camps on every call and never comes in.
Never
but
talk.
always has their hand up. Hello?
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 Can you hear me?
Oh, it's a different 649. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, sir. I apologize. It's
No
not
problem.
you. Go ahead.
Oh, good.
You're in New Zealand.
Yes.
Oh.
Number one fan, yeah?
My number one fan, and oh my God, I just insulted you. Oh, forgive me.
Not the first.
Probably won't be the last. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I just was I was kind of waiting to get everyone seems so excited by the news, and it just seems like with the anticipation, listen to Wolfie. I mean, everybody is quite excited, and I imagine we're all kind of waiting for that final let's go. So I'm hoping I hear it as soon as, or maybe even before folks there do, because that way it'll give me a chance to hop on an airplane. But at any rate, I'm just wanting to come home and get this done.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
I won't make that mistake again, I promise, number one fan. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Talk to you in a bit. 954. 954. Go ahead.
Is that me?
That would be you.
Well, good evening, gang. I'll just continue listening in. I don't have a question for now, okay?
Okay. Then put your hand down, please. Thanks.
I sure will.
Okay. Okay, this is a web call, Deb. Deb? 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 Okay, I'm going to move you out. Uh, 224.
Hey, just wanted to say we really appreciate you guys. Thank you, and I got a question for you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I can hear you.
Yes. All right, man. Just love what you guys are doing here, by the way. It's awesome to see all you guys get together and work as a team. Just love it. Thank you so much. I just wanted to clear my ear out real quick. Did I hear him say $6.50 on a contract for Zim? That's not a question. I just wanted to verify that.
That is what.
Because I fell off my chair.
That's what Yosef has said.
Okay. I believe that's what it was. Now, my question for you guys, and I'll leave you alone, is there was a big announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern today posted up there. Have we heard anything about that? And before you answer, I'm just going to shut off and let you guys go ahead and answer that. And I shout out to Martha and Laura for a happy birthday coming up this Friday.
All right.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you know what announcement?
I didn't see any announcement. I know there was supposed to be an announcement, but I haven't seen one. Any of our hosts seen one that you can unmute yourself and if you saw one, but I have not seen one.
I have not either.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you guys saw that. Okay, thanks. I thought somebody posted it on there and at 3 p.m. something about the banks had a big announcement. So there was supposed to be one, but okay.
To my knowledge, no one's seen. If there was one, no one has seen it in this circle. How about that?
Okay, good. I had to ask. My group was going to hang me by my feet upside down if I didn't get it out there. I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and now we have a regular here. 281. 281, go ahead. 281.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't hear exactly what the rates were on the dong and was it the rupiah?
I'm gonna admin. Did you get them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
This was brought forward from I think it was the Winging It call earlier today, and Joseph was on there, and I believe he said the dinar, his range was $6 to $15. The dong, $6 to $12. The rupiah, $1.50, and the zim, $6.50.
Wow.
That's all right now, just hearsay, and it's not.
Did you put the clothes in the dryer?
Admin?
Yeah, you there? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I don't either. Let me put her back on.
Wasn't me.
I know. Okay. Caller, you were asking a question. Sorry, we had a momentary hiccup.
Okay, I'm still here. Thank you.
Okay,
so let me ask you, on these rates, could it possibly be like contract rates or the high market rate?
I did not hear the call, and the person that brought that in, I don't believe he said one way or the other. I think those were just rates that were presented by Yosef. And I don't know if he said if it was a standard rate or you could ask up to, or I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, that was good. I just wanted to make sure I had the numbers. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now we're going to Metuchen, New Jersey. 732. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry.
What happened to him?
I think I don't know what happened to him.
Put your hand back up, Ms. Chuchin. We seem to have lost you. Go ahead and read. Oh, there you go.
Okay, there he is. I see him. Okay, there we go. Okay.
How y'all doing?
732. We're doing.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you fine.
Okay, great. I actually wanted to just give a little intel. I have a contact with TD Bank in New York.
Okay.
I put it in the chat room earlier, but for some of those that didn't catch it, I had lunch with her today, and she brought to me that she was told that she would be going to an off-site to do what she was trained to do back in October and November, and that's to do exchanges. And when she asked when it was going to take place, she was told, and the exact words that she was told was, in the New York Minute. So that was encouraging enough for me. She's the one who got me involved in all this, so, and she's been in the banking industry for 41 years. So,
what's your handle in the chat?
Darkman.
Oh, okay. Hey, Darkman. That's
How
nice
are you?
To put a voice with with an avatar.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know. Yeah. Going well here. We think. We're hoping. We're hoping.
Yeah, we hope.
Well, thank you for your contribution. Anything else?
Could I ask?
That was it.
Could I ask you a question?
Sure,
Did she say whether or not you should contact her again in the next day or so?
Well, let me be very honest and be careful how I say this.
Please do.
I'm going to be contacted when this all happens.
All right.
And I will be exchanging with her.
Okay.
So, I mean, once I get that info, I would definitely pass it on.
Okay. We have your contact information, so may send you over a text or a PM, and we'll stay connected that way if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Sir, great. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on here, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dirkman.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to go to 940.
Hello, Blondie.
Hello, 940.
I'm jealous because I thought I was your number one fan.
Well, you didn't send very many flowers, buddy. What can I tell you?
Oh, okay.
That New Zealand guy, he knows how to work it.
Okay. You like chocolate?
Oh, you bet.
Yes.
What?
I just wanted to say I am so ready for this, and I've enjoyed the ride with you guys, and y'all have done a fantastic job keeping us informed, and I love all you guys. Thanks for all the help. And the main thing Joseph emphasized was a 3-digit rate on the Zim. He said that, it's plenty possible. He said this isn't the bank's money. This is just money they're just giving you credit for. It's all paid by the elders. So you don't have to worry about them not having enough.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for being with us. Good night.
Right. Good night.
Okay, now we're going to do...
Blondie?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's Imperium. Can I say something?
Oh, yes, please.
I just want to elaborate a little bit on what that gentleman just said in terms of what Joseph was talking about. And this is a very, very important point. We all can agree that this amount of money is a major responsibility. And how every individual responds to that degree of responsibility is up to their own skills and capabilities. So everybody needs to find out what their limit is. So he encouraged people, Joseph encouraged people, that if there's a $6.50 rate available, a $6.50 rate available for the Zim, and you go for it, the people that go for it should be the ones that are not necessarily just trying to get more and more and more, but the people that have their hearts targeted on humanitarian programs. If you're not willing to participate in these humanitarian programs, which is the reason why the elders are initiating, are subsidizing all of this. It's to bring up the whole world. It's not just to make a lot of people rich so they can accumulate a lot of stuff. So it's true. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, finish, and I'll add on.
True. It's true that it's not the bank's money. The banks are the relationship that the banks have to this bank relative to the elders is similar to the trustees in a trust. As we know, the trustees have a fiduciary responsibility to uphold the mandates of the person that originated the trust, or what we call the grantor, the trustor. Well, the banks are doing the same. They have particular guidelines that the elders gave them to follow to the law. So in other words, it's not their money. They're following the mandates of the elders. And the rates that you get will depend on what you're going to do with it. So I think that's a very important point. In fact, it's a major point.
And Imperium, and I agree with you. And, in the back of my mind, we don't know how much money it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And then you hear the different, you get $1 more, you get 10 more cents, it's going to be this.
Yeah.
I have planned in my mind people who are going to take certain parts of this. There's no way I could do this or even attempt to do it by myself.
Yeah.
I've targeted people, that I know and trust to manage this huge amounts of money for these different benevolent, projects.
Right.
And that they'll be motivated to do it, and they can, hire staff. It's not shoestring type of thing. And
for sure.
And that's just something to keep in mind. To find people that you trust and that would love this kind of work that they've been doing, working their butts off all their lives, and you can pay them a great salary, and they deserve it because of everything they've, done. I know people at your church or in your community. I mean, what a great reward for them to do something that would give them great, satisfaction. Anyway, okay, enough of that one.
So I agree with you 100% in that there is a lot of talent, a lot of good talent available in this world to help people to manage this money over the long term, and I mean generationally. And one of the better ways to do it is to follow common law trusts. And there are plenty of organizations in the world, financial institutions, that'll set it up for you professionally. And that would put the funds in the hands of a trustee that has then, by law, the fiduciary responsibility to fulfill your wishes. And all you have to do is decide what humanitarian projects or what foundations or who you would like to sponsor or help, and they'll do it for you. So I encourage all of you to give that some serious consideration. There's a lot of talent out there, like Bondi just said. Take advantage of it. Spend the money. Don't be cheap. You have plenty of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Iko said that a couple of days in a call too, and I support that 100%. Don't be cheap when it comes to paying people that can help you. Seasoned, qualified people.
And I want to emphasize that the people, not just your attorneys and accountants, but the actual people that are doing the work, that are getting the foundation set up.
Yeah,
They're,
absolutely.
Putting all the grant work together and all of that.
Yeah,
reward them.
like organizations like, for example, Abbott Downing through Wells or Northern Trust. In Switzerland, you have Henley and Partners. There's many, many, many established institutions or organizations that have dealt with high net families and individuals for years and years for generational money. This is where we're going. This is what we're coming into, establishing generational equity. And not only for ourselves, but for our friends, our families, our everybody in your community, anybody that you can. That's what the Chinese elders want. They don't want us to. They don't want us to, like, you know, to be hoarding the money. They want it to go around. They want everybody to benefit. So that, anyway, that's what I wanted to contribute to that.
You always have such a calming, wonderful effect on the crowd. Thank you, Em.
Thank you, Blondie.
Okay, so now we're going to go to 985. 985.
Comment ça va?
That's you. We can hear you fine.
All righty. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, Katrina survivor. Thank you for taking my call. I've been following this for about 2.5 years. Very good friend of mine gave me my first 50,000 dinars a birthday/Christmas present. Then I went out and bought the dong. I followed Tony for a while, but it's always been about God for me. There's no way in the world that this could happen without him being the sole provider for this. And you guys are making me so happy to be able to listen to Christians and even some that pray on this call. Very, very exciting. I didn't get that on other, even though I do believe that they also believe that God would be the sole provider. But I'm believing and I'm having faith like the Jews did, Hebrews, when the Red Sea was parted. And I just want to thank you so very much for picking up this and going forward with it. You guys are encouraging the 5 or 6 million of us that know beyond a shadow of a doubt this is God, and we will pay it forward. So I just wanted to say that. I'm Big Easy Living 2 on Twitter. I'm not part of your group, but thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your participation.
All right. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Okay, now we are going to a web call, and it's June. June?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you got a lot of background going on there. Now you're good. Now you're good.
All right. I've got a logistic question. After you exchange, and then say you want to get some yuan or Canadian dollars, Swiss francs, whatever, how do you know when it is gold back so you can go ahead and switch it over?
You mean switch it over to back to U.S. dollars?
That's correct. Because I was told not to hold on to it too long because then it may go down. Or what?
Would you like my opinion on that?
Yes. And anybody else that wants to.
My opinion is you've got the cart before the horse, and I would not even be worrying about that right this minute. I'd be like a little more focused on just what I'm going to do when I, getting to the bank, get that exchanged. And if you want to do that yuan thing, and I'm apparently you know what those parameters were or that had been suggested, and you can do that and it fits those parameters, then go ahead and do that. And then I kind of wouldn't even worry about that for, a couple weeks. That went to, if you do get some yuan, I really wouldn't get too worked up about how soon you need to move that money around. Just my opinion.
All right. I was just wondering.
And anybody else, any of the other hosts, if you have a comment, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Or you can unmute yourself if you have an opinion on that. Because that's just me, Blondie. That's just my opinion. Okay, did you have another question?
I think you're spot on,
Go ahead.
Andy.
Okay, thank you.
I think you're right.
All righty.
Okay, June, did you have another question?
No, that's it for me, but thank you for taking my call.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now we're going to go to 410. 410.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm surprised because I just put my hand up. But with all this talk, you know, I guess many of us may want to get a feeling from the people that when are we going to probably be getting to the 800 numbers?
Any of our guests would want to comment on that?
Oh, silent.
Well, the information over the past 4 or 5 hours is like literally any minute, like tonight. That's what's coming from many different angles, and I've never heard that before.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's appreciated. We'll try. All of us will try to get some sleep tonight then.
Yeah. Good luck.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks.
Admin. Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
I just said thanks, Blondie.
You're so welcome. Okay. Admin, that's all the questions that we have.
Okay. Oh, really?
I would like. What? Oh, well, the board filled up again.
Said that, they came on.
Wolfie, is that you? Okay, well, I have a Canada question here. A web mystical. Hold on, mystical. Okay, mystical.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, great. Okay, so my question is about humanitarian. When we go to the bank and are introducing to the person who is going to determine what rate we're going to get according to our humanitarian projects. If we, when we go, obviously we don't, if we haven't started the project yet, then we don't have, everything in place. So if we just bring a list of our projects that we want to do and some information about, our ideas. I mean, how much detail do we need to actually present to the bank so that they know that we are actually, going to be doing humanitarian projects?
Yeah.
For one. Oh, go ahead, Em. Go ahead.
No. Okay. I have a strong feeling, and it's been suggested by others that the banks will, not the banks, but the private side of the banks, the asset managers and so forth, will have programs available for you. So I think if we walk in with a willingness and to be proactive and say that you're interested in humanitarian projects, that's your intention, and you'd like to review what's available, I'm sure that they'll have some options for you.
Right, except I do have some that I do want to work with.
So then.
But I haven't set up a project. I haven't set up, I haven't created the foundation.
Yeah,
yet.
and I understand that. And what I'm saying is that it doesn't seem to require an existing foundation or even a professionally prepared pro forma. But if you have an idea, and mostly if you're bringing willingness to the table, I'm sure that they'll help you. I'm sure that they have a lot of programs that they would like people to participate in. I'm sure that's part of the mandates that the elders are providing.
Okay, and the other thing I wanted to mention, really, for those who have been gifting out a note here and a note there. We've already started our humanitarian project. You know, I really feel we have to acknowledge that and share that information with the bank when we go to our appointment, because it actually shows that we're already started.
Mm-hmm. Well, go right ahead, but I wouldn't sit there and try to convince them.
Oh no, I would just let them know. I've given this many people, you know, because I want to share this opportunity to change other people's lives as well. And I've already started to do that by doing that.
Good, very good.
Well, ma'am, are you in Canada?
Yes.
Okay, so, and you're going to exchange in Canada, correct?
Well, I assume I was invited tonight to exchange in England.
Well, I mean,
but I'm assuming I would change.
You're a Canadian citizen, and so I guess that you're part of, you know, England, right? So the whole deal with your country is totally different than what the U.S. deal is. So we don't know if that humanitarian, actually, we don't really know what the humanitarian project deal is for us here. This has been thrown into the equation like in the last 6 to 9 months. When I got into NARD 4 years ago, there was none of this humanitarian stuff to do the exchange. Imperium, please correct me if
that's
I'm
correct.
misspeaking.
I agree. This has only developed recently.
And so I am not, in my opinion, I don't think this humanitarian thing is going to be a big issue for people that have already signed up in groups. They sort of knew the terms when they were introduced, and this humanitarian thing, I think, has been thrown in as a distraction, great distraction, okay? But I think we're bringing way too much into this initial exchange, and I think people should be just concentrating on what you're going to do when you get to the bank. And when you think about this person that you're exchanging currency with, they're not in a position to judge whether your humanitarian project is worthy or not. I mean, I think this has gone so far over the edge as far as what we're going to do at that first appointment. I really wouldn't be losing kind of a lot of sleep over that part, and I think, I don't know, someone today or on this call just said, you know, if it's in your frame of reference that you're going to pay off kids' college tuition or pay off mortgages or something, that was a humanitarian project. That was enough to, you know, to pass the smell test. Personally, I don't think that's even going to come up at the exchange meeting. But that's just my opinion. And if any other host has anything else to put in there, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you, because I don't want to just be this old, spouting off my opinion.
I'd like to say that I think the banks just want to know that we're actually going to use the money to invest and make money, so that the bank also makes money, because they're all about making money. And I think the humanitarian project is something that's just like a sideline for them. It's just like giving you some idea of how much more money they're going to make with it, as long as your money is going to make them money.
Well, that's the old thinking, caller, and be open for what more is possible, because that old thinking may have zero value tomorrow.
Right, I have that perspective, but I believe that the banks don't have that perspective. So
we're talking about you. We're talking about your belief, not the banks. And I'm suggesting to you that belief may be eradicated.
Well, it may be. If the banks are really going to change, then I'd be more for it.
Well, that's what we've been talking about for many, many, many years. That's the main issue of this whole, why we're having this phone call and why we're involved at all. It has to do with a complete paradigm shift within the banking system, which is a reflection of consciousness.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
May I make a
Thank you,
point
ma'am.
here? May I make a point here, Blondie? I think that in a lot of cases we are just overthinking everything, and I think we need to step in and remind ourselves to use the KISS principle.
Yes. Thank you.
We don't know what the banks want. We don't know what the government wants. We have no clue. We hear a lot of things, but we've been hearing things for years, for me, 10 years, and they have changed constantly. So something we hear today may not be relevant sometime in the future, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, which I certainly hope it does, or tonight. And what these Imperium's bringing in, and Miracle Man and the others are definitely valid, and they definitely have merit. So we need to ponder and think about that, but we cannot try to guess what the bank's going to do because we don't have a clue. All we can do is say, hey, we've heard that these rates are available. We've heard that we may be able to fund some humanitarian projects or projects of some sort. Here's an outline of what I'd like to do, a simple one-page outline of what I'd like to do. How can you help me? And what rates would be available for me? This is what I've heard. This is what I'd like to get. And go from there. But keep it simple. As has been said over and over again, we've never had this kind of money again before.
Yep. Okay, we have another question here, 928.
That's me. Hello?
Yes, 928.
Yes. Hi, I'm Helen on the board, and if Miracle Man is still there, I wish he would go over the simple way he's using annuities to simplify his giving and his preserving of wealth and giving to like charitable endeavors.
You know, I think this is not the time for this. That
okay.
That's kind of a long call. That maybe we can set something up on the board. If you PM me, we can maybe do another call and get Miracle Man on there. See, you called him Million Man, didn't you?
I probably did.
See, Miracle Man, how confusing you have us all. Yeah, I think that's probably that's a call that's a subject that's a call in itself. So
okay.
If you can PM me, we'll try to set something up.
And then can I ask one
follow-up? You're good for that Miracle Man. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I just wondered, you had talked on an earlier call in January about how annuities are not based on the stock market. But
yes,
so many of us want something secure. Could that be money chasing the underlying assets in annuities, and it could make a bubble?
No, and again, that topic, I think we need to table that for another call, and I'll get with Miracle Man, and we'll see what we can set up, if that's okay, because a lot of people don't care about that, and we're, that's kind of not the topic of this call. How about that?
That's very
fair.
So
if you can PM, are you in the forum?
I am.
PM me, and I've had a lot of requests about that, about this subject matter. So if you PM me, we'll try to set up a time to do a call just on that subject, okay?
Okay.
Blondie, I'd like to say something for just a minute before I forget it.
Sure.
And that is, first off, I'd like to run about another 15 minutes or so. But I would like to address the people that have been calling in or texting and PMing me about the Deb Tar Heel Girl calls and saying that they are MLM companies and she's making money off of them. I'm in Utah, This is the heart of MLM companies. So I'm very much aware of MLM. I have nothing against MLM companies. If you're interested in them, I've put a place in the board for them that they can put your stuff in there. And if you want to present it to other people, fine, go ahead. If you have other business opportunities, put those in as well. There's a section for that. But just because it says MLM doesn't mean it's bad. And just because somebody's making money off of it, this is capitalism. So I don't have a problem with it. So quit telling me.
And I'm going to add to that, Edmund. I didn't even know it was an MLM. I just liked the information. I figured that the audience would like the information, and you're paying for it one way or the other, no matter who makes the money or not. So exactly. I don't understand what the big beef was, but whatever. You know, if this is all you have to worry about,
I'd like to say that I've had an account with Privacy Abroad for a couple of years, and it's one of the finest. So just because they're not an MLM company, but they do have an MLM, like not partnership, but a wing where people can participate in that. But that has no reflection on the integrity or the credibility on Privacy Abroad itself. It's an excellent, excellent service, and it's based in Switzerland, and it's very private.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Bill.
And see, I can always count on you to tone down my comments. Thank you. Okay, so Admin, you want to go for just a couple, till the bottom of the hour?
Bottom of the hour, till 8:30, and then we'll wrap it up there, or 10:30. It's getting late back east.
Yes, it is. And I just, if you don't mind, I want to bring up a topic that's kind of come to me this afternoon, and I would like Hank and any other of the guests that have any input on the process, because I want to throw out here what my perception of what the process is going to be, so that people aren't anxious and chomping at the bit. So, Tank, are you on?
Do you want to hear what Blondie thinks the process is going to be?
Pardon me? I heard someone. Landon, I'm unmuting you.
Hello?
Hank, are you here?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
And if there's any other host that wants to be unmuted, I guess raise your hand or unmute yourself. You can. I'm going to share what I understand that the process to be. That when this actually does go, I guess, quote unquote live, the private groups, like the Wells Fargo group, is going to go first. They're going to get processed. And that everyone's going to know that this went live. But if you're not in a group, you're going to have to wait. So if it goes live, you're not going to the bank tomorrow. The private groups are going to go, oh, somebody's got really bad feedback here. Okay. So, and now this is just what I've heard from what I think to be a very credible source. That's going to be the process. That the Wells Fargo group, which has now combined all the private groups, all of them, are going to go first, and then like the internet group, and then the public. And so you may not get an email, and some of your friends that are in the Wells Fargo group will have an email, and you may not get yours at the same time. It may be a couple of days later. Don't panic, and you're not going to get gypped on the rate. The rates are going to be what the rates are going to be for whatever category you're in. The group rate for the Wells Fargo group, this is the way that I understand it. You know, don't take me to court on this, but it's pretty much the same for everyone. And then, like the internet group, you'll get the emails, I think, or 800 numbers, and then the public will, then it'll just be public. And it's not like the public's going to get a notice. It's just going to be, that's the international rate. You know, we're in a great place because we're going to know that this all happened and be able to take advantage of it. But I just hate to see if this does really happen at 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't have an email, don't panic. You're going to have to wait your turn. But no one's going to get gypped out of anything or anything like that. And any other host on here, please jump in here and contradict me or say I'm wrong, because I would love to be wrong. I would love to have it in the next 5 minutes and we could all run to the bank, but I don't think it's going to work that way.
Blondie, I can share what I've been told.
So please go ahead.
And this is in no way to at all disagree with Blondie, because I understand exactly what she's saying. The understanding and the reports that I have heard from my various sources say essentially one of the conflicts was how to do this, how to release it, and that's why they came up with the, quote-unquote shotgun start, where everything's kind of on par. So the internet group, even though technically it's not part of the Wells Fargo, the group, that essentially they would all still go at the same time. There's just so many exchange centers set up now. They'd actually be going to different places, and there'd be, obviously there's different benefits for being in the group besides just the rate. But all the rates, from what I understand, are going to be amazing, and they're designed to get you in as quickly as possible. And the idea is to do this as discreetly as they can. And from what I understand, because of the way that they're able to transfer money at such an alarmingly fast rate at this point, that people can get in and they can literally process everyone in a very short period of time. I don't want to put a number on that. So I don't know if they want to get to 70% of the people in like the first 5 days, something like that. That's not exactly right. But my understanding is that everyone will get notified. It'll go viral almost immediately. You'll be able to set your appointment and go from there. And also, just because I feel like this will take people back, and it's something just to remind people that this was brought up some time ago with some people who did early exchanges in Canada, is there is a 48-hour, holdover on your money. So if you, have to pay the water bill that day, don't count on having access that day necessarily. You'll probably have to wait 2 hours while they go through a security check to make sure that you're not a terrorist or, have some other violent criminal history of some sort. So I just think that's important that people know that. You might have that 2 hour, vetting period. Now, there are some exchange groups that have already gone through that process. They've already been cleared. They already have that form filled out. They've already gone through it, and they'll have access to the money immediately. Now, that could, just like Bonnie said, that could totally be wrong. But I mean, that's what I'm hearing as early as, the past 24 hours. But these sources are only as reliable as the end result, and none of us know how reliable they are until it happens.
Hank, thank you for bringing that up, and because I brought up what I said on my end because I want everyone to be prepared for any of these, any of these options that could occur. Just in case. I hope it's your way. Believe me, I hope it's your way.
Yeah.
And Miracle Man, you had your hand up. So I just unmuted you. I thought. Go ahead, Miracle Man.
Since I'm a rookie, I wanted to answer a couple. How do you unmute when I hit star what to come into the forum next time?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Okay, I was just wondering a couple things. So,
It's star 7. Star 7.
Thank you. Thank you
and
very
star
much.
6 will mute you out.
Perfect. Thank you. So the process, which I understand my USD guy for years, and now knowing my humanitarian group, which we thought we were going first. That's why I've been in it for many years, and now we just got the paperwork in November. So it is a shotgun approach, humanitarian, General 64, Wells Fargo family, and then the 800 Internet group. And according to Joseph today, I just remember this, he said there's about 2 million of them, okay? That's what Joseph, out of the 16 million, there's about 2 million of us private placement pieces. Now, I want everybody to be prepared. You know, I put on the forum this NDA, this one-page NDA for 10 years. You know, we're going to have to keep quiet. Just don't say one word currency. You know, it's family inheritance. Just say it's stock. You know, whenever you do your deal, which I'll explain in my plan someday. But my USD guy for 4 years has said we all are going to have to sign NDA. So, you know, Martha said market rates, other people, but my guy says any of these private groups, be prepared for these rates because they're going to be great. We're all going to have to sign NDA. Again, that's been years, and he has been consistent with that. So, but the process now looks like we're all, and there's about 5,500, like Tank said, about 5,500 of locations, and we will, see, we're going to be known, I'm a Wells Fargo General 64, we're going to have a code. So we're going to get our email and a code. They know our rates are going to start up here separate. The 800 number, individual internet, quote, Tony people, they're going to have to negotiate more. And that's what helped here, Joseph. You're going to negotiate those rates. And as Blondie said, we're going to have pretty much a set rate, a little negotiation, except for the ZIM. There was never the ZIM, and again, Imperium said it great. Just be confident, come in with humanitarian projects, you have a better chance to get the higher rate. Just don't think you're going to walk into these 3 digits unless you want to do something with projects with humanitarian. Like, I'm keeping it simple. I have 435 institutions, churches, universities, shelters. You know, all these I'm bringing in, I'm lining up, not explaining, and that's what I'm using. And then I'm doing my endowment, you know, my endowment annuity fund. Very simple. Clean, neat, safe. And that's kind of the process. So be prepared for NDA, like I was saying, and there's 2 million of us. It's going to take a few weeks. It's going to take a few weeks, and that's okay. That's okay. We can relax, get our thoughts together. Yeah.
Yeah, I second that, Miracle Man. It's going to take a while, but just the release to know that it's happened and you're actually in line. That will be the best feeling, well, other than, you know, actually walking out with that receipt, but just the relief that'll bring. So
it's like the surreal night tonight. This is a surreal night because I've stayed grounded, but tonight it's a little surreal for me. Right. Tonight will be surreal tomorrow.
Blondie?
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, I've got 333. He wanted to make a comment, so I'm going to open his mic up for him.
Okay, thanks. M squared you are to me now.
Yeah. 333, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Could you speak up just a little bit louder?
Yes. Is this better?
That's a Blondie. Can you hear him okay?
I can hear him.
Okay, very good. Go ahead.
All right. Let me preface this by saying that I have been in the aerospace industry for years and years and have been conditioned to think very, very logically. And sometimes this gets in the way of my listening to my heart or the spirit or the universe or whatever you want to call that exterior force. And so I have made plans and alterations of plans for years and years and years, thinking that I'd cover every single possible scenario that might come up. However, more recently, I have received confirmation after confirmation that the banking world is changing, that the methods are changing, and all the different scenarios I may have come up with might just be thrown out the window. So I would encourage everybody, let me give you a quick analogy. My girlfriend and I went to an RV show the other day, she walked in with a very narrow vision of what she was looking for. I told her I was going to walk in and see what was available and pick the best thing. When we got in there, we saw a number of things that we had never considered, which turned out to be very viable options. So take that analogy to the bank. I would suggest everybody go into their meeting with, if you have humanitarian projects, if you have foundations, if you have whatever plans you've made, keep the end result in mind. Find your passions, find out what you want to accomplish, but I would encourage everybody to keep the path to get there open. Keep an open mind, because there will be different ways and probably better ways than you've ever considered to accomplish your goals, to get to your passion. So my last bit of counsel would be, keep your goals in mind, keep your passions alive, listen to your heart, listen to alternative ways to reach those same goals, and I think you'll be very, very surprised.
Awesome. Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much, 333. I think that should wrap us up, Bondi. What do you think?
Okay, that's good with me.
All right, folks, thank you for coming on. For those that we did not get to tonight, we'll, if we don't RV, which let's hope that's not the case, that we are going to the bank here soon. We'll talk to you on the flip side of that. So go ahead.
Admin,
yes.
Admin, I just got a text. I think Tank wanted to say something.
Go for it.
Tank, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to take the call, but real quick, I'll just mention this so that people know that Admin Bill gave me the green light to do this. Is we were going to do 30 days, and about 60 days after the actual release of these 800 numbers, we are going to host an event in New York City. It's probably going to be a 3 to 5 day event. And in New York, what we're going to do is we're going to give people who do have humanitarian projects, who want to make those projects, turn them into living, breathing entities and bring them to life, and want to collaborate possibly with other people, other like-minded people who are also have a project, so you're not overlapping and doing the same things, and to have the most impact. And we'll have classes during the day that'll be, based on things like how to build passive income, how to make your nonprofit humanitarian project self-sustaining. I'll bring in all types of speakers. I've already started setting up the speakers. We already have the venue, and it'll be designed so that you can come together and celebrate this life, and then coordinate with people to bring it to life the way it should be, and in a way that doesn't bankrupt you. And there'll be classes on, new business owners. I think personally that you have millions of people who are about to have a lot of money. I think it's fair to say that I would almost say 100% of those people are going to start a business, and maybe 10% of them have ever owned a business. So we'll bring in really great professionals. This is New York City, and I have access to some pretty amazing people that I think will help everyone. And it'll give you a great opportunity to do that, and then we'll have a couple really big parties and make sure that we let you experience New York to the fullest without feeling like you're going to a violent city. It'll be nice. I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to set up a forum, and in that forum I'll also have immediately, probably tomorrow, I think, I haven't looked at it yet, but I will put things in there because there's one thing that Joseph said, that just to remind everyone, that he said the banker's job is to tell the banker what you want to accomplish in life. And your job, his job is to help you do it. So there are things that will help you if you are holding a significant amount of currency. My understanding is that you will have a very different kind of exchange where you might actually want to present certain things that in a regular exchange that Blondie mentioned, or you don't want to overthink it. But in another change, you might want to have, a business plan or like Wolf, you said, a one-page description. I will put some of those things in that little forum of mine available for people if they just want to look at them, just to help them out. Maybe they've never done it, just to assist you if anyone wants that. In the meantime, and in that same forum, I will be posting a very private registration. I'll be inviting people. The goal is to keep it at about 1,000 people to bring those people out. But we obviously want to be careful because, you know what, you have a lot of shady characters who could be lurking in the background of our forum. And, they could have malicious intent, and we don't want to expose anyone to anything negative. But we would like to give people a chance to be successful. And that's all.
Not in New York City, Tank.
What's that?
Malicious, not in New York City.
What do you mean not in New York?
Various characters? Not there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yes.
Okay, well, I probably know most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We're ready to wrap it up.
Thank you, transcribers. Thank you, our guests tonight on tonight's call, and let us wake up in the morning in a different place, a different and better place. Thank you, admin.
Thank you, Blondie, and thank you, host and guests. We appreciate it very much. Have a great evening.
All right. Good night.